Linux version 0.0.1.4. You will no longer need to use Macintosh or Windows or buy any more commercial applications to do your work. Paragraph Alt Unix comes with all of the 3D and 2D games you could ever want. Over 128 game titles.
God reigns, he is robed in majesty.
paragraph you can open Microsoft Office Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents in GNU/Linux as well as edit them.
Armed with strength, He's from all eternity. Mightier than the waves, stronger than the breakers of the sea. Eyes of fire and feet of glowing bronze. The Lord is high and seated on His throne. Creation looks to Him. The heavens never cease to praise His name. So come, let us bow down in worship of our God. Come, let us kneel before the Maker of our hearts and praise His awesomeness and His majesty. Jesus, our God reigns. Holiness adorns the house of God. Who can match the splendor of His word? Of days, we will never cease to be amazed. So come, let us bow down in worship of our God. Come, let us kneel before the Maker of our hearts. So come, let us bow down in worship of our God. Come, let us kneel before the Maker of our hearts and praise His awesomeness and His majesty. Praise
Paragraph. People complain that the start menu in GNU/Linux is not in OLED, like the one in Microsoft Windows.
Every night, how long in the air does it linger? I thought I solved you, unlocked you somehow, but I can't get back.
Yeah, well, Ultimix Linux, what you were seeing there, is running on a motherboard. I'm trying to see if I got the box here. So basically just a regular run-of-the-mill motherboard, maybe $35, that has a onboard NVIDIA 6100 video card and 1 GB of RAM and a single core 64-bit AMD AM2 processor that runs at 45 watts. So you see, you think you need Windows Vista or XP. Well, XP, it requires 64 megabytes RAM. Vista requires 512 megabytes RAM. Ultimix Linux requires 128 megabytes of RAM. Now, I wouldn't run 128 megabytes of RAM because it just wouldn't run right. I'd have at least 512. But that's the minimum system requirements. And we all know what happens when you run Windows Vista with 512 megabytes of RAM. I won't even go into that because that'd just, be negative. But anyways, everybody knows what happens. So anyways, it has all the programs that you're going to need on it. It's got your video editor, it's got your audio editor, it's got your everything that you're going to need. The video editor that's in it is worth $200 alone because you've got all those effects and things. You can do green screen video editing where you're standing in front of a green screen and then you put another video over top. I don't like to get into that because it's just beyond what I need to do, but you can do it. I've done it before. In my previous Ultimix video, I had some graphics over top of the video. I may not do that in this one. I don't know. There's really no reason not to use Ultimix. The start menu was the thing people were complaining to me about the most with Ultimix that were using Windows, and I changed it to where it's start, all programs, accessories, and system tools, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So everything's right there. If you hit start all programs, you got Office, which has basically all of your Office applications, and then it also has a My Money, GNU Cache, all that stuff in it. So you don't need to complain anymore. There's no reason to complain. It makes me frustrated when Windows users are complaining that Linux is not good enough for them and the GNU software. And so I decided, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make this system so that Windows users can use it. And I do like constructive criticism. I do want you to complain. I do want you to go into my forums. I do want you to tell me what to improve. But I don't want people telling me that it's impossible for them to switch from Windows to Linux, because it's not impossible anymore. If you need to run Windows programs in Linux, I mean like really hardcore Windows programs that you can't get to run under Wine, you can pay $60 and install Crossover Linux or Sedega, something like that. You can play all your video games, all your Windows stuff on there, no problem. The question is, why do you want to pay for that software? Why do you want to use that software? Ultimix comes with My Money. It comes with a QuickBook type thing. It'll import all of your stuff. So why pay for it? Another good question is the video games. I mean, you saw the Alien Arena. That's just one of the games. There's 128 games in this thing, okay, that I put in there. You can put more in there if you can find more games that you want. I don't know what other games you'd want. You can put Half-Life in there if you want. It'll run on it. And I think you need the Sedega to do that. But anyways, I don't know what more you want. You got to tell me. Because I put all 3D games in there I could find that were rated top, everything that I could fit in that DVD. There's 3.3 gigabytes, I think, in that DVD for the Gamer Edition. And, yeah, there's one little bug where if you download the Gamer Edition, you have to install a package, and it'll tell you what it is. It also says the name of it on my website after you install it. Otherwise, you won't be able to install your 3D graphics driver using that Envy program, which is really nice because the Envy program will automatically install your drivers for you. Now, you should, if you're going to do video games, you should have an NVIDIA graphics card with at least 128 megabytes of RAM on it. However, as you just saw, I was using a computer that had NVIDIA 6100 video on it, and it was using the RAM as the memory for it. It wasn't using its own RAM, and it was working just fine. Now, it doesn't always work just fine. Sometimes, you know, the game will stutter or something like that, but that's because you don't have that extra 128. Now, any gamer would buy an extra 128 megabyte card. There's plenty of 2D arcade games in there also. I mean, I don't see why you should complain. I challenge you, find a reason to complain, please. Please find a reason to complain. You know, you can import your bookmarks from Firefox and Windows into this. You can import your favorites from Windows into Ultimix. How do you do that? Well, it's quite simple. You install IE for Linux, which is, you just search for it in the search engine, IE number 4 and then Linux. Then you follow the directions for Ubuntu on their website. It installs on your system. Then all you have to do is open Internet Explorer and figure out where your favorites are stored. And then you go over to your Windows site and do the same thing, and you just copy them over. Then you import your Microsoft bookmarks into from Explorer into Firefox, export them out of Firefox into a bookmarks file, then import them into Firefox on your other side. I don't know why you'd want to use Internet Explorer on the other side, because frankly it just runs slower and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do what Firefox does. There are some websites that only let you access them if you're using Internet Explorer. That might be a reason you want to do it. Now, here's another thing. After you get Ultimix, you can install the Win32 codecs, which will allow you to open Windows formats of music and media. You can also install the LAME codecs. Those codecs are illegal to put on your computer unless you own a copy of Windows or Macintosh that has that in it already. So basically, if you just, you know, you own a copy of Windows, you've ever bought a computer that comes with Windows on it, or your computer currently has Windows on it legally, then you can do that. Another thing real quick, there's a thing that's legal to share and legal to put on your computer, legal to you know, but it's not legal to use, and it's called Live DVD. And it's only illegal to use, as far as I know, in the United States. I don't know of any other countries that outlaw it. And the reason the United States wants it outlawed is because they get $50 for every time you buy a commercial DVD player. The big companies do get $50 every time you buy a commercial DVD player for Linux. Linux made their own DVD player, but because it's not commercial and nobody gets money from it, the government has outlawed it. Doesn't make sense to me, doesn't make sense to Richard Stallman, doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I talked to Richard Stallman about it. Don't quote Richard Stallman. Don't take what I'm saying as what Richard Stallman said, but I talked to him in an email about it. He said he's confused about it. Live DVD. You can either use it or not. If you don't want to use it, don't put a DVD in your computer and play it. That's really all you got to do. If you do want a Linux DVD player, why don't you ask the DVD companies to make it available for Ultimix? Because there is no legal DVD player that I know of that's available for Ultimix in the United States. So, you know, if the government wants us to obey their laws, then they need to make it possible. They're violating our freedom of speech by not letting us listen to DVDs that, you know, that kind of content, and by not making it legal for us to have Windows codecs and LAME codecs without owning a copy of Windows. They are effectively also limiting our freedom of speech. So you need to make sure that when you save documents and you know, media, video, things like that, it's in an open format that people can legally play, because these proprietary formats are basically unconstitutional in the fact that nobody except the privileged can use these formats to read them or play them. If you're a politician and you have an ad and you want it out there on the internet for people to see it, you need to put it in an open source format, because if you don't, then only the people that own Windows mainly are going to be able to see it. Some Macintosh people will be able to see it. People that are using illegal things on their Linux computer will be able to see it, and people that own Windows and Linux will be able to see it. So that's very important as well. But anyways, you want to download Ultimix, go to www.ultimix.com, ULTUMIX, and then you go into the site and click on the download link. And if you've got a BitTorrent client or something like that, like Azurus or something, you can download the torrent. Unfortunately, Azurus has gone to views, and they make it incredibly hard to use their program anymore for anything that does what you want it to do. It won't download torrents very easily.